So menopause already begins with hot flushes, fatigue, lack of energy, lack of sleep, um, walking into a room, not sure why you walked into the room, you can't remember why you walked into the room, what you wanted from there. But then try adding the fact that you're actually building a business on top of that, and you're working full time, and you've got other commitments going on outside of work as well. It's not easy, but it's doable. And I tell you why. So, yes, you got sleepless nights, and yes, you're exhausted from work. Just the 9 to 5 is exhausting, right? And that's without the fact that you don't even sleep very well at night. Brain fog, forgetting your tasks, forgetting your business tasks. Um, you know, Writing lists for lists these days because you need more than one prompt. As you know, I set reminders on my phone, like alarms to go off to remind me to do things, to go here, do that. Speak to that person. And you do get confidence dips because sometimes you're always quite, well, you do. You question yourself so often, sometimes thinking, did I do this? Did I speak to that? Did I complete this? Have I done everything I should have done in that task? And so on. But because, again, my strategy and my why is so strong, my belief is so strong, for me, what pushes me through is knowing that I'm going to get out of this 9 to 5 grind. I know it's going to happen. 100%. I'm so confident. It's unbelievable. Now, this is part of the reason why I want to instill and, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't always think of the words. I think I just want to show people, not because I'm showing off, but I want to be able to explore and demonstrate to people it is possible. It is possible to be over a certain age, struggling with your mental health, struggling with the lack of sleep, hormones are all over the place, you don't know where you're coming to go in from 1 minute to the next, literally sometimes. But knowing and having this belief in me that I am going to break free from the 9 to 5 grind. This time next year, I honestly, without trying to sound like from Only Fools and Horses with Del Boy, this time next year, Rodders, we'll be millionaires. And, I'm not saying I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, yeah, it'd be great if I am. But regardless of that, this time next year, I honestly believe 100% hand on heart, I am not going to be still working in the same job. I would have handed my notice in by then, if not sooner, because I know that what I'm doing now is going to propel me forward, is going to keep the momentum going. It's the compound effect, as I mentioned before as well. It's about that little snowball that you keep building to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's going to become something that I know will not just be for me, it will be for others too. It'll be like I say, a movement, a community of people. It will be a number of things. And sorry, my t-shirts never look tidy when I'm on here. Not that it's really a big problem, but I'm not dragged up. But at the same time, like give an example now. I'm on here with this top. I haven't worn it for a while. It's clean, it's washed, it's dry. It hasn't been ironed for a while, and there's a few creases in it. Now, honestly, yeah, it looks a bit untidy, but my mindset is right, is anyone actually going to die, right? This is the saying that I say at home. Will anybody actually die because I didn't actually iron my t-shirt before wearing it today and coming on camera? No. No one's going to really care. Probably people didn't really realize that my t-shirt is a little creased until I mentioned it. Okay. So it's just like putting things into perspective. Don't get so overwhelmed. I'm actually really not very well at the moment. I'm actually going to be calling my GP this morning, not to alarm anyone, but I think I've got a virus or something. So I'm really not feeling my best, but I'm still showing up anyway. I'm still here. I still want to be part of this community. I'm still growing. I'm still committed to my 30-day challenge. Today is day 25, guys. So I've got 5 days left after this one. So, I'm going to achieve it. Even if I'm filming from my bed, I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing this daily. I'm going to be showing up because I know I can do this. Even if I'm not feeling well, I'm going to be resting after I've seen the doctor today, so that's fine with me. Hopefully antibiotics or something as well, because I think that's what's going on. But I'm sort of recognizing as well that I need help. I need to see someone today. This has been on and off since like last week, Thursday, and it hasn't got any better. And yesterday was one of my worst days in the afternoon. I was getting extremely lightheaded, to the point where I didn't want to drive or anything. I wanted to just sit down. So that's not like me. So I'm recognizing in myself, I'm being kind to myself, which is so important when it comes to your mental health and your physical health. You've got to take responsibility for yourself. You can't just expect things just to miraculously get better. Sometimes you do have to go to other professionals. And today's a perfect example of that. It doesn't stop my belief in what I'm doing. It just means I'm actually going to be kinder to myself today, and I'm going to rest. I'm going to take whatever advice or whatever medication, if I can get anything from the doctor, if it's needed, then that's what I'm doing. But I digress on that, okay? So just to go back to what I wanted to explain about with being through the menopause or going through the menopause, building a business, ways that I actually try my best to be on top of everything as much as possible. You can actually batch create videos. You can film multiple videos, in other words, and then you can then schedule them to go out on certain days, certain times. My long video, which is this that I'm talking now, this will be scheduled later today. I just take the first 3 minutes of this video and use that as my short, and then I just upload the whole video for later to go live, to upload and for people to see. So, I'm not going to overly think these things. I'm just going to show up, do my thing, do my video, upload it, carry on. It's like next, tick, but I get satisfaction as well of making lists and ticking them off, and, knowing that I've achieved it basically. So if you want to do something like this and create your own channel, or if it's to do with your work, your full-time job, or building a business, it's about trying to be smart, working smarter, not harder. We've already got a really busy, hectic life. We don't need to make it harder for ourselves, okay? So it is about being organized as best as you can, and appreciate again that organization to some people isn't necessarily a strength to everyone. To me, it is, and I'm very grateful and lucky that I'm very organized as a person. The only things I can fail sometimes as a weakness is lack of knowledge, not understanding something, not being educated on something. So again, not knowing something. And I am, as much as I try to cram in so much, I've only got X amount of time. When you're working full time, it's very difficult to pursue other things, to do other things. So I have to literally schedule everything else around my full time job. So, most mornings I do my filming before I even start my day at my job. I upload my short before I even walk in the office. I also schedule my long term video to go out. Normally by the time I get in, just before the office, or if I'm on lunch, it'll be done by then. I only get half-hour lunch break in work officially. So again, I'm very limited on time. Some companies can allow you to have longer. If I have flexi, I will take a bit longer for lunch. It just depends really on my situation, and also what I'm doing in work, where I'm going to be in work, whether I'm going to be attending a meeting or something else. Depends on cover, if there's enough people in on team. So a lot of things can affect me as well in my full-time job. But basically, it's about one action a day, one small action a day. Don't overwhelm yourself, guys. Just do something that's positive, productive, and just keep doing it. Keep building on it. Keep doing it every day. Be consistent and show up. Like me now, as I say, I'm really not feeling my best right now. You can probably see in my face, under my eyes. You can tell I don't look right. I'm not delusional. I can see it myself, right? But the point is this: it's a being accountable, isn't it? So I'm taking action now for my health today. I'm going to be phoning my doctor when the line's open, hopefully get through, hopefully get an appointment, and hopefully I'll get seen, and that's how it is. But ultimately as well, I'm still showing up to do these videos, even though I feel like I'm as rough as a badge as you know what, but I'm still here anyway. The other thing I would mention as well is about resting. Easier said than done, I know, because you've probably got a family, you've probably got a demanding job, probably got commuting time, lots of things. But rest when you can, even if it's just for 10, 15 minutes extra, or that you never did before. please take time out. You've got to calm this mind down. You've got to slow your breathing down, because the more that you're constantly in this heightened state, your breathing is more aspirated. You're more exasperated, sorry, with your breathing, and your pressure and your mental state and everything else. It can make you really unwell, all right? And we don't want to add any stresses to the body more than we really go through anyway, naturally. So it is about slowing down if you can. But if you slow down, sometimes you might actually have a brainwave, like a light bulb moment, right? Sometimes when I'm there and I'm just sitting there and I'm reflecting on things. Now, I believe in meditation. I don't do it enough. That's my own bad. I know I should make more effort to meditate, especially on weekends when I've got more option to do this. But one thing I do, which I really enjoy doing, is listening to calming music. Um, I love music of different genres, different decade eras, whatever. I've got different eclectic style of music for a start. So it depends on how I'm feeling. Music can help me either get into a mood or something or calm me down. Um, I listen or watch things on YouTube quite a lot, music related, meditation related. Also, what I find, and if you're in a safe environment to have a candle lit, I like to just watch the flame of a candle. Or if you have like a wood burning stove and you've got a fire burning, I love watching the flames dancing in the fire. That to me is mesmerizing. I just find something about it quite hypnotic, really. Um, but when I do that, it helps me just slow down, and then I start coming up with different things. I find that when you're in a better, peaceful state, a calm, grounded state, you actually start having those light bulb moments. Things will start coming to you that you never thought of before, being creative and so on. So, excuse me. So, what I'm trying to say to you is this: you've got to really be kind to yourself, regardless of what's going on in life. Like I said to you, as always, I say in these videos, life is going to life anyway. Things will always happen. Another side of the way I look at things as well is when people say, "Oh, I haven't got time to start a business." Well, whether it's going to take you a year to get us to a certain level or whether it's going to take you 5 years, that year is going to pass anyway. Those 5 years are going to pass anyway. So why not give it a go and see where you end up? Why don't you try something and see what it becomes? It might actually open doors for you. It might take you or propel you into a different direction. Without taking action, you're never going to know. I don't want to get into religious, but there are things that, in the Bible, for example, about Noah building an ark. Well, the animals came, didn't they, two by two? So, it's about taking action. You put action in, see what it comes from it, see what attracts, from it. But yeah, there's loads of ways you could look at it, different analogies and so forth. But the point is this: take action regardless. It doesn't matter how busy you are, how tired you are, you can make time. And another point as well, if you don't believe me, you have a setting on your phone. If it's switched on, the setting on your phone will tell you how much time you spend on your phone, on your mobile phone, screen watching whatever, apps, YouTube, TikToks, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. It will break it down for you how many hours per day you spend on your phone. And you will be shocked because people say, "Oh, I never get time." Trust me, they're over 4 or 5 hours plus on their phone daily. So you have got time. You have time. You can make time. Pockets of time, guys. You're not expected to set up a business and be a multimillionaire within a week. Doesn't work like that. No business works like that. On the flip side as well, people don't get to see the actions that you put in. People don't get to see that you're staying up an extra hour late at night just to get certain things done. People don't get to see things like this, doing content, creating content, uploading things. People don't get to see all the things that go on behind the scenes. I'm not trying to glamorize my life or business or anything like that. I'm never going to say it's a walk in the park because it's not. But consistent action, being with the right-minded, like-minded people, is going to help grow you, will help stretch you, getting the right people preferably that will help coach you. I'm very grateful that I'm with such an amazing team, an amazing coach and trainers. And yeah, I have access to a lot of information. And that's the beauty as well with this travel business. I didn't just want to do it because I love travel. To me, it was about having stuff that was, accessible for me to get to, because I'm having to build this around my 9 to 5 job. Sorry, around my 9 to 5 job. I need to be able to log in at any time that I'm free. And that can be evenings and weekends. And sometimes, like if I'm having a bad night, I can't sleep, then I might actually just log in and do a bit of training or something, or research something, just because it was on my list of things to do anyway. So why not make use of my time? If I'm not able to sleep, if I can't sleep, or for whatever reason, then why not do something for 20 minutes, half hour, and then try and listen to something relaxing, because that might actually help me then switch off, and then I can go to sleep eventually. But yeah, so yeah, what can I say about, excuse me, sorry. What else can I say to you other than please just think that this is possible? Like I say, I'm showing up here today, even though I really don't feel myself. I don't look myself. I'm going to be logging in now to, excuse me, speak to the doctors, hopefully, and get an appointment this morning. But apologies, guys. But like I say, I'm here. I'm committed. A bit like marriage, isn't it? Through sickness and health. But I'm here. So anyway, enough of me waffling today. But the point is this: even if you're going through menopause, even if you're going through a tough time, it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it, literally. And there's a song there as well with a line of that song I could think of from the 90s, I think. But yeah, enough of me waffling, guys. I'm gonna log in now and hopefully speak to the doctors this morning. So sorry. But have a great day, guys. Stay blessed, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Goodness, how I'll be looking and feeling, but I'll be here. I'll be showing up. I promise you that. Until then, have a great day, guys. Stay blessed. Speak to you soon.